Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Let's get after it.
Look at that. That is something else. Yeah. High winds, lots of rain. We almost lost power twice. They've been recording wind speed of 80 miles an hour plus. It is. Yeah. Okay, I'm shutting it now.
I actually had to stop and look this one up after I saw it since it had the date on it, and they got hit hard yesterday. There's still thousands of people without power as of the latest reports. I don't know if this is a natural occurrence or if it's due to some sort of weather manipulation, but I noticed here lately it seems like all these storms are getting stronger and stronger and just getting out of control. We just had a storm here in my county about a month ago that blew down so many trees that they estimated over 20% of the county's roads were closed due to tree falls. I don't remember storms getting this strong when I was a kid.
What are you doing?
I'm recording you.
Catch your ID. Here's my ID. I'm from the Department of Social Services.
What are you doing here at my house today?
A report that came in concerning allegations of improper care. The report is stating that report is stated that mom had baby on 3/15. Report is stated mom left shortly after having the baby, and the baby did not have all the tests performed after leaving the hospital. Reported say the baby's blood sugar was low, 44. Reported stated the baby had an appointment with Dr. Dorsey, and baby didn't go to the appointment. Reported stated mother left hospital on her own.
Okay, so is it against the law to not go to an appointment when they make an appointment? First of all, we never agreed to go to any appointment. So is there a law broken here?
I mean, we have concerns about.
Is there a law broken here? Yes or no?
I can't answer that question. I don't know.
Well, then you need to go find out and then come back. That's what you need to do.
We just need to talk with you about the allegations in the report.
For what?
That's pretty much.
Okay, so anytime.
If it meets the definition of abuse or neglect, then we have to.
Does this meet the definition of neglect or abuse?
Yes, because the report was accepted.
What is the abuse being taken place here? What is the abuse?
Not abuse, neglect.
When a report is accepted, we're supposed to come in and assess the situation of the home.
Ma'am, my child has an appointment on Monday to go see a doctor and get any test that he needs to get done. I don't need the very next day, my wife doesn't need to go to any appointment just because they said that she needs to go to an appointment. I'm a free human being. So that means I have the right to choose any doctor that I want for my child. And I can refuse or I can accept any type of treatment that I choose. And I can refuse you to enter or anyone else enter into my home under the 4th Amendment. Now, if you want to take this to the Supreme Court, I will sue you and I will sue you, both of you. You have addressed your concerns, and I appreciate you addressing your concerns because you know what? There are a lot of children out here that need help. This house doesn't have not one child that needs any help. Thank you.
That guy likely just saved his kid's life. Those women need an education on the rights of parents. The states do this all the time where they just decide that there's neglect or something based off of not a law, but what they think you should be doing as a parent. If the only reason those women are there is because they have a piece of paper saying you missed a child's doctor's appointment and they can't understand that there's no law requiring you to go to such an appointment, then how long do you think it's going to take them, with their limited understanding of the legal system, to find you at fault for something and call law enforcement to remove your kids from your home? And now your kid's in the system and you've lost all your rights as their parent and their protector. I wouldn't even talk to these people without an officer there as a witness. It's just too dangerous.
Have you heard of the C-section conspiracy? This one is wild. Not only is it mind-blowing because it's a major surgery that involves physically cutting open a woman's abdomen and uterus, but if you think about it, it doesn't even make sense because females across all species have the natural ability to give birth, and babies born born by C-section are more likely to have breathing problems and develop chronic diseases like childhood onset diabetes, allergies, and asthma. But here's where it gets really crazy. Back in 1965, cesarean births only accounted for 4.5% of all births. Today, 1 in 3 women are giving birth by C-section. That's over a 600% increase in 60 years. In fact, it's now the nation's most common operating room procedure. Granted, C-sections can be life-saving for the mother or child in high-risk situations. These circumstances do not account for even close to 1/3 of all births. In fact, the nation's leading professional obstetric societies state that women and babies don't even benefit from this increase in C-sections, and they even claim that they're overused. Now, why would this be? Well, if you know me, I like to follow the money. A quick Google search will tell you that a C-section birth costs 77% more than a natural delivery. But the real money isn't even made from the birth. It's made from the placenta, the richest source of stem cells. Word has it, a single placenta and its components are sold for $50,000 on the low end, and the value of all afterbirth products could be valued at somewhere around $500,000. And while hospitals can still obtain a placenta by a natural delivery, word has it that they're less valuable because they're contaminated and contain less amniotic fluid when compared to a C-section birth. Oh, and because of this act, unfortunately, you can't even get paid for your own placenta. Only hospitals can.
I always just assumed the push for a C-section was due to the operating room and recovery time costs. That, to me, is enough to make a hospital push you to go to the more dangerous route and have major surgery instead of having a natural birth. However, if this is true that a placenta has that much monetary value, and they really did pass a bill saying only hospitals could sell your organs, then I think this is pretty obviously true. However, again, if I'm being honest, I'm not about to go look this bill up and see if this is true or not, so it's just going to remain a mystery to me. Hey, if you're enjoying this video and you like this kind of content, I post a new one just like it every day, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. It would be awesome if you'd hit that subscribe button and come back to join me tomorrow. Also, don't forget to check out our new podcast. The link is in the description.
By all means, do it. But if you want to look at a world where you will have a strategic advantage in the future, you have to see it for what it is. When I look at the future of the United States, it's important to understand 2 things. First, I'm looking at the future of the United States through the lens of a 43-year-old business owner and father of an 11-year-old and a 6-year-old. I have 2 children that aren't even of teenage years yet. And their young professional life won't really start until they're 19 to 21 years old. It's my responsibility now to think of the environment they will have when they are 20 years old. They can't make that decision for themselves. So when I think about the United States 9 years from now, 10 years from now, do I think the United States will be the best place for my 20-year-old son and my 16-year-old daughter to find opportunity? I'm not so sure that that's the case. I'm not so sure that the United States of 10 years from now won't be more divided, less powerful, more controlling from a federal government control of citizenship state. I'm not convinced that that's going to be the best foundation for my children to have opportunities, which is why I plan to leave the United States in the next 5 to 7 years, because I want to give them the opportunity to have success. In my estimation, the best opportunity for anybody who has a business, who has wealth, who's growing wealth, or who's growing any kind of business acumen, the best place to grow and succeed in the future is actually less likely to be the United States and more likely to be some other third nation. Until the United States has the time to go through its adolescence. The countries that are on my short list of places to seek opportunity for my children, there are countries in Europe like Portugal or Spain, Italy, Croatia. There are countries in Latin America. We specifically look at Costa Rica. We've looked at Mexico. There are countries that are very wealthy countries like Switzerland or Norway. There are countries all across Africa. These countries are not perfect in and of themselves, but where they are imperfect is different than where we are going in our own imperfection. Because where we are going is more towards a state of chaos and unpredictability, whereas many of these other third world countries or developing countries have very predictable systems. They may be corrupt, but they're predictably corrupt. There are many countries in the world where $10,000 can get you basically anything you want. Where here in the United States, $10,000 in the bank doesn't even qualify you for a home loan, right? How do you deal with that? How do you assess the impact of that on the future state of the family that you're trying to?
Wow. There's so much here I agree with and so much that I disagree with. For one, He named off some countries that are on my list to never set foot in, so certainly don't agree with the places that he's looking into. I absolutely 100% agree that it's your responsibility as a parent to make sure you set your kids up for success, and that a big part of that is making sure that they're in a productive environment that will allow them to succeed easily. That's a big reason why I live in the country and not the city. I want my kids surrounded by nature and to have a sense of community. You don't get that in the city. You get crime and chaos. I guess the one big thing I want to touch on before moving on is that I think that we still live in an amazing country that has the best form of government ever established if we could weed out the corrupt players and follow it the way it was intended. I don't think leaving is the answer. I think this country is worth staying and fighting for. Not in the way of war, but fighting the culture and swinging it back into some sense of sanity.
A man is wanted by police in Georgia, accused of using a hack that he saw on social media to steal from self-checkout machines.
Police say that the man tricked the machines into giving him extra cash. Fox's Doug Evans has the details.
Here's Walmart surveillance video of the suspect Noonan police are trying to identify. Investigators say he and others apparently learned a trick on social media that has cost Walmart stores nationwide millions of dollars before it got fixed, and it is fixed. But Noonan police say this guy got away with thousands of dollars from Walmart stores in Noonan, Peachtree City, and Fayetteville.
And there's a vulnerability with the point-of-sale machines that he was able to exploit and get basically double his money. He would do a transaction that was canceled about halfway through, and by the end of it, the point-of-sale machine would give him double his money back, and he would leave.
Posted information how to trick the Walmart checkout machines into giving cash back on certain types of purchases. Police say in South Metro Atlanta, this guy apparently was not the only one observed doing it.
He's driving a white BMW. We suspect it's a 7 Series. It's got a temp tag on it, like a standard Georgia temp tag, but it's almost like it's in a sheet protector where there's a film over it that we can't read it.
And that was Fox's Doug Evans reporting.
I just thought this was hilarious. When this dude ends up in court, he needs to say as a defense that he was just trying to get paid for all the work he's put in checking himself out at Walmart self-checkouts over the years. It's not going to work, but it would make him instantly internet famous.
Guys, we are so cooked. We are living in blackmail. This founder spent $1.8 million on the domain name friends.com. Just the domain name for this product. Please watch this commercial and let me know if you think it's going to pop off.
I've never brought anybody else. I mean, besides her.
She goes everywhere with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I think this is just sad. If they spent over $1 million on just a domain name, then they clearly have some serious cash to throw around. That means they probably have some major investors sinking a ton of money into this project, and they wouldn't do that without doing a ton of research first. So that tells me they've likely done their homework and discovered that there's actually a market for this thing. We have really fallen as a species when it's this hard to get out there and make actual friends. But before we move on, did anyone else notice that that thing was bullying that gamer guy in the ad? That didn't sound like a text you would get from a friend. Also, yes, I added the ominous music, but if you can find it, go watch the original. It's even worse.
You guys are seeing him right now for the first time ever on YouTube. Daylight footage of Bohemian Grove. Do we dare? Go. My God. Every flag. Europe. Mexico. Why is this in Chinatown? Yo. What? Look inside the truck. Yeah. Oh my God. Look at these things.
Clearly trespassing somewhere you know the owners don't want you, while wearing a bright white shirt, making all the noise you can while crunching on sticks and digging around the place like you were some thief scoping the place out. Then you put your face in the video and posted it online. The internet is ruining people's critical thinking skills. That being said, cool video. I'm glad I got to see it. I hope the kid doesn't go to jail.
Okay, so this is one of the craziest videos that I have seen in a long time. And I'm gonna tell you right now, that photo up there is not water. Check it out. Now, I am not a scientist, and I don't know anything about what gases are heavier than air or which ones are lighter, but this looks like a river that's on fire of some sort of gas, at least if I had to guess.
That looked like some kind of lake of fire. I don't know what that was. I can't imagine the immense heat that must have been hitting that camera guy. Does anyone know anything about this? I want to see if I can find more footage and maybe some different angles and an explanation of what's going on here.
I'm not like a conspiracy theorist or anything like that, okay? I do read the Bible, which is not like a conspiracy theorist. Let me show you the sun. It doesn't look like the sun. I'm like freaking out. Hold on. Okay, we had to move because there's so many trees. I live in Ulaga, Oklahoma, okay? Let me just, it looks like a Minecraft sun. It looks like a digitized sun. Does anyone else, does the sun look like this to anyone else? Hold on. Okay, stop. Am I crazy? That is not a sun. Look at it. I can't zoom anymore. But look at this. This is not the sun. I am 41 years old. I have never seen the sun look like this. Am I crazy? Do you not see the little, like, am I crazy?
Sun simulator, perhaps? I don't know. I have seen the sun look somewhat similar to that in the past, but I remember the sky looking pretty crazy in general when I saw it. I don't know what's causing that, but I'm sure it's some kind of effect from the atmosphere or pollution or something.
There's no ancient civilizations. Let me tell you why there's no proof with science. So whether you're a hater, potato, or a truth navigator, stick around with an open mind because some things will start to make sense. Atlantis, Mu, Lemuria, Dwarka, all these places once upon a time supposedly have existed in ancient texts. Well, if they're real, where are they now? You may have your own theory as to why ancient civilizations were lost. Put a comment and we can explore them. But it's quite common knowledge now that around 12,000 BC, something happened to the world and it knocked out most of civilization. And this is quite evident in Göbekli Tepe. Archaeologists have uncovered Göbekli Tepe in the last decade, and it was dug out of the ground in Turkey. What's fascinating is that there have been approximately 60 other places that have been found similar to Göbekli Tepe dating back to this 12,000 year period. And this has upset mainstream archaeology, because the civilization story started in Sumeria 6,000 years ago. That's not true anymore. So around 12,000 years ago, we've now discovered a civilization that lived underground that could lift 10-ton granite rocks and carve anew details of the cosmos. What's that got to do with lost civilizations? This is where it's fascinating. The site of Göbekli Tepe has a bunch of pillars, and on that it tells you how the planet was destroyed and how they had to go underground to survive. It tells the story of the fall of civilization and extreme destruction on Earth. Scientists, archaeologists, and geologists are now dating that period back 12,600 years to an incident that happened on Earth known as the Younger Dryas event. The Younger Dryas was a cataclysmic event that occurred on Earth that displaced a lot of water in a very quick succession on our planet, as well as earthquakes, extreme winds, tsunamis, and volcanoes, and all sorts of catastrophic stuff that happened on the planet. Now, you might be curious about how this happened, and there are many theories, including extreme global warming, solar flares, meteorites, but I'm going to tell you what I think is correct. Or should I say most probable? Once upon a time in space, there was a comet known as Enki, and this comet was miles wide in diameter. If this comet were to ever crash into Earth, the Earth would be gone. But lucky for us, this comet broke into pieces. What is it? Now, the comet Enki is still quite big, and it still exists in space, but when it broke into pieces, it created an asteroid belt that orbits the Sun. Every year through October and November, we pass through the asteroid belt. Everybody knows that it's something cute called the torrid meteor shower. It could destroy the planet. Since 2013, this many asteroids have hit the Earth. And to put it into perspective, if one of these was big enough and hit Earth, either in the sea or on land, it would either create tsunamis or insane earthquakes. It would create earthquakes that would disrupt the tectonic activity on the entire planet, causing earthquakes and volcanoes to erupt everywhere, as well as the tsunamis destroying everything moving at around 1,000
1,000 miles an hour. Not to mention the winds that would be caused from the extreme displacement of everything on the planet. Everything would be leveled, buildings, stadiums, cars, everything gone. It'd just be covered in like landslides of mud. This is where all the mud floods come from. Masses of displacement from Earth because of extreme impact. And as a result of this, a lot of civilization has perished and it's lost underground. You can't even find it. Because the level of catastrophic destruction on Earth, it wouldn't even make rubble. It'd literally just turn everything into dust and mud, and all the metal would just be shredded to pieces through earthquakes and molten and water. Like the Earth going into Avatar mode and just destroying everything. And this could happen at any time because we pass through this torrid meteor shower every year. To look up in the sky and you saw a shooting star, it could be possible that it could hit you and just wipe out the entire civilization in the blink of an eye. No one would even know it happened. And that is why there is no evidence of Atlantis. That is why there is no evidence of Lemuria. Well, there is evidence of Lemuria to a degree, and they recently found Dwarka and then Göbekli Tepe telling a story that the civilization will get wiped out, has been wiped out before, and will get wiped out again. Spooky. What are your thoughts? I'd love to know, but this is what I've learned recently. Honestly, it's a free community for everyone to just chill and share their opinions and just like, vibe off of what each other's thoughts are. Repost it so people can join the discussion. I'd love for everybody to get involved. Thank you very much for your time. You got any questions, put them in the comments, and I'll speak to you soon. Have a great and beautiful day. Peace.
I just thought that was a really well done explanation of the basis for so many of the theories that we discuss on this channel, and I thought it would be a great video to add as a sort of breakdown to kind of introduce new audience members to the sort of big picture of it all. But the big takeaway here is the cataclysmic event that restarted the Earth so many times before is projected to happen again. Supposedly a reason as to why all the rich are building bunkers. Maybe it's the cause of the increased crazy weather. There's so many theories that this one branches into.
In crazy sci-fi news, a research team in Australia has created a plate that can shape light into a tractor beam. First coined in the early 1900s, a tractor beam is usually shown in the movies as electromagnetic radiation of some kind that can grab something in space and pull it in. Here's where you really got to appreciate this. Pulling is actually pretty tough in nature. Most things are pushed. For example, when you vacuum, you're not sucking in the dirt. You're removing the air molecules around the dirt and they're pushing the dirt into the vacuum cleaner. If you were to vacuum the floor on an asteroid, nothing would move. You can't vacuum in a vacuum. How this mini tractor beam works is by twisting 3 strands of light into a triple helix solenoid. This is actually pretty clever because we've known about the advantages of this design since ancient Greece with the Archimedes screw, which pulls water up by spinning. Pretty handy for ships that are sinking. These coiled beams of light can pull particles in with a similar idea. As much as we want this tractor beam to be an intergalactic toy, the most realistic application is in medicine. Things like biopsies and surgeries, and any other delicate internal transportation.
I can't help but think that we are seeing the next little bit of tech that they've figured out from backwards engineering these down to alien crafts. I know this is kind of a stretch to think that this would be the same technology that was being used in tractor beams from stories of people being abducted, but everything else we've heard about those stories is starting to show that it has roots in reality. So why wouldn't this? I do think this is a cool invention though, and it's going to be interesting to see what kind of applications it's going to have.
2 winning tickets were sold for the $400 million Mega Millions drawing the other day. You want to take a guess where they both were?
California.
Not only were they both in California, they were both from the same gas station in Encino, California.
What?
They're making it too obvious at this point. If you don't understand that there is something going on between the California state government and these national lottery games, I don't know what to tell you.
2 lottery tickets, how much were they?
They split a $395 million jackpot.
So was it a glitch?
I mean, clearly, yeah. They're flying too close to the sun.
That is damning evidence.
Yeah, they both, had it only been one, both of the guys would have won $395 million. They both matched all 5 numbers.
And how many different outlets sell Mega Millions tickets, like coast to coast?
I mean, who could even venture a guess?
Hundreds of thousands, 100,000?
Easy.
And so the same 2 hit?
Correct.
The same 2
all 5 numbers, 2 tickets, same gas station. The odds of that are so astronomical, I don't know that you could come up with a number.
There's got to be an explanation for this, right?
Yeah, it's that they're cheating and they've f***ed up. That's the the simplest explanation is usually the correct one.
There's your PSA for the day. Don't throw your money away on the big jackpot lotteries. They're all a scam. I've long thought that they just use the lottery to pay people off. Let's say the government owes someone for an off-the-books project that they completed, but they can't pay in a way that leaves a paper trail, so they just set it up for them to win the lottery. They got paid, and there's no paper trail tying the government to anything, and no one questions anything when you win the lottery other than how did you think of the numbers. But guys and gals, I'm going to go ahead and end the video right there. I hope you enjoyed these clips we watched together today. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. I hope you come back to join me. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and check out www.barry-stepp.com if you'd like to order yourself a shirt or a hat and help me support the channel. Also, don't forget to post your photos of your merch over in the Discord to get your photo in a video, just like this one. But with all that out of the way, I hope everyone has a great, safe, fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you all tomorrow.